Loads of massive new games are about to hit Xbox, as well as a huge new expansion for one of 2024's very best titles. Let's get right into it. On September 4th, get ready to unleash hell in a new, innovative third-person adventure. Hell Is Us immerses players in a spooky, semi-open world with no map, no markers, and no compass to help us navigate it. Just our own sense of curiosity. But luckily, there's loads to discover, and the freeform nature of it all just makes those discoveries all the more satisfying. Hell Is Us might also be the only game where you're equipped with both a high-tech drone and an arsenal of medieval monster-slaying weaponry, including axes, swords, and spears. But when the drone is this cool and the melee combat is this gnarly, I'm not complaining. Ooh, it's no surprise to find some horror games creeping into view as we get towards spooky season. And Kronos The New Dawn looks like it can creep with the best of them. In this survival horror game, you'll be time traveling through a ruined world on a literal SOS mission to try and rescue some human souls. That'll be especially tricky because of a nasty bunch of organisms known as orphans, who can merge with each other to form even bigger, grosser, more dangerous creatures. So, doing a quick and thorough job of taking them out really is the key here. Kronos The New Dawn looks like a must-play for all us survival horror fans, and it'll be out on September 5th. I think it's pretty safe to say that NBA 2K26 developers' visual concepts have been absolutely crushing tape this year, using hours of real-life NBA footage to make sure that every crossover, steal, pass, and finger roll is as authentic as possible. The new motion engine makes for smoother player movement, a refined rhythm shooting mechanic helps you nail those jumpers, and dynamic player collisions, well, they're just really fun to make, honestly. All of this means that NBA 2K26 both looks more realistic and delivers a more competitive, fine-tuned matchup for you and whoever you meet out on the court. And it'll be available from September 5th. We're gonna need guns, lots of guns, so it's a good thing that Borderlands 4 is out on September 12th. On top of containing billions of new weapons, which is pretty much a given at this point, Borderlands 4 promises to be the most satisfying co-op experience in the series' history, with a smooth new setup that lets you wander freely, zip back together, and take on challenges with individually scaled difficulty so that vault hunters of all skill levels can have fun together. Because the real treasure that they're hunting for always turns out to be the friends that they made along the way. You know, except that time it was actually an interdimensional giant monster instead, but whatever. Anyway, we've already played Borderlands 4 and I loved it. So what part of Borderlands 4 are you most looking forward to? Hit the comments to let me know and maybe we'll be able to tell you a little bit more about it. Now that we've got all that hell off our chests, we'll also be unleashing the beast on September 19th with a brand new Dying Light game. Kyle Crane is back, but he's a little different this time around, with some monstrous new powers that are a little unsettling but extremely fun to use. And he's got his old skill set too, so you can look forward to lots of first-person, free-running, brutal melee combat and lots of drop-kicking folks off roofs. We've played it, and yes, it is exactly as awesome as that sounds. On September 19th, we've got a twin-stick roguelike that's innovative and arboreal, Tawa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree. This isometric actioner has devised an ingenious system where the player picks not one, but two characters from its colourful roster, one to lead the attack and the other to play a support role. Each character has their own abilities and each one works differently depending on the role that they've put them in. So you've got loads of tactical flexibility to play around with. Plus, one of the characters is a fish person called Nishiki, so that's lovely in its own right. Oh, I've been waiting for this one! Silent Hill F will deliver an action-packed new take on the iconic horror series on September 25th. Hinako might not look like the most combat-ready protagonist, she's just an average high schooler after all, but she certainly knows her way around a steel pipe, or a baseball bat, or anything smashy. And not to worry, Silent Hill F might have more fight in it, but it's still very much a horror game with all the creepy atmosphere and terrifying monsters that we've come to expect. And, you know, kind of dread from the series. But like, dread in a fun way. Like I hate it. When can I play more? Worlds are going to collide in Sonic the Hedgehog's trippy new kart racing game on September 25th. While you're racing across any one of the game's 24 colourful tracks, you'll encounter travel stars that warps you and all your rivals into a whole other dimension. It's a smart mechanic that can give you a real edge if you use it right. Sonic Racing Crossworld is also a big, bold, beautiful celebration of all things Sega, with characters and locations from Yakuza, Persona, and loads of their other best series. You know, I have always wondered if Knuckles would be a better driver than Ichiban Kasuga. Something tells me it's true, but I guess we'll find out in Sonic Racing. EA Sports FC26 gives the series a box-to-box upgrade on September 26th. Like a club team going on a summer spending spree, it really has strengthened all over the pitch. Goalkeepers have a more realistic and dynamic range of saves to call on. Defenders will experience less frustrating tacklebacks. You can now dribble with more accuracy or use your strength to shield the ball more effectively. And low-driven shots have returned, allowing strikers to scalp the ball right into the bottom corner, if you're lucky. Of course, they still haven't quite captured my preferred playstyle of jog around trying to look busy until the game is over and we can all go get pizza, but you know, that does leave something to shoot for next year. Final Fantasy Tactics returns in new and improved form on September 30th with the Ivalis Chronicles. Back in 1996, this spin-off put a strategic spin on Square Enix's beloved JRPG series, allowing players to plot their moves across 3D battlefields where victory is all about clever positioning and finagling the turn order at every opportunity. The Ivalis Chronicles preserves the original game perfectly, while also offering an enhanced version that features improved visuals, fully voiced dialogue, and refined gameplay. Hey, do you love the Persona games but feel like they could really use a little bit more monsters? Specifically, maybe more digital monsters? Well then, Digimon Story Time Stranger is the game for you. This RPG will have players strolling between the regular world and the digital one, where they'll get to fight alongside 450 distinctive Digimon. These monsters have some impressive powers, although their greatest strength is the bond that you build with them. Although, actually, I guess being able to fire torpedoes from your chest seems like a pretty good power too. Either way, Digimon Story Time Stranger will be out on October 3rd. Little Nightmares 3 provides a new petrifying puzzle platformer for players to pal around in on October 10th. It features a terrifying new tale, a whole bunch of environments, some of which manage to be frightening even in broad daylight, and the option to play through the whole thing in online co-op. Little Nightmares 3 is a standalone sequel, so you don't need to have played the other two before you jump into this one. Although, if you do want to check out the original, the enhanced edition arrives on the very same day, and you can play it right now if you pre-order Little Nightmares 3. Double Fine have got a new game coming day one to Game Pass on October 17th, and naturally, it's completely bizarre. Keeper is a story-driven adventure that's light on dialogue, but heavy on sentient lighthouses and their feathery best friends. Playing as this unlikely duo, you'll get to navigate a strange world filled with mystery and humor, solving puzzles and overcoming obstacles as you go. Going by what we saw when it was first revealed at the Xbox Game Showcase, this one looks like it might just live up to its name. It's going to be a real keeper. Plus, you'll be able to keep it on many different devices as it comes straight to Xbox Play Anywhere. Seriously guys, I really think it's going to be fine this time. We're going to build a big theme park filled with live dinosaurs, and I really think that this time is going to be just fine. Jurassic World Evolution 3 will see players nobly refusing to learn from past mistakes as they run their very own dino disaster waiting to happen. You'll get to look after over 80 prehistoric species, managing the every need of your creatures and customers. And again, I really think it will be fine this time. I guess we'll find out on October 21st when Jurassic World Evolution 3 opens for business. After spending far too many years resting peacefully and not slashing anyone in half, Ryu is back in Ninja Gaiden 4 and he's brought some friends. Ninja Gaiden 4 aims to take this legendary action series to new heights with new playable characters, new weapons, and some of the most audacious boss fights you've ever seen. And while it promises to deliver the devilish difficulty that seasoned gamers have come to expect from the series, there will also be customization options that allow newbie ninjas to get in on the fun too. Best of all, Ninja Gaiden 4 is coming day one to Game Pass on October 21st, and that too is Xbox Play Anywhere. Yes. The belt holder when it comes to belt-scrolling beat-em-ups, Double Dragon is getting revived on October 23rd. Just like back in the good old arcade days, Double Dragon Revive has players stomping from one side of the screen to the other, pummeling anything that gets in their way. But don't mistake this for a mindless button masher, because there's plenty of strategy at play here as you learn your enemy's attacks and how best to counter them. Although the answer is usually more pummeling. Roll up, it's time to roll stuff up again in Once Upon a Katamari. This time around you'll be journeying across the ages to Katamari's Stone Age, bits of historic Japan, ice cubes from the Ice Age, and much, much more. And if you fancy going head-to-head with other Katamariers, then the 4-player Katamari Ball mode has got you covered. And yes, the music is brilliant this time around too. So check out Once Upon a Katamari when it rolls out on October 24th. Also, by the way, search for the game on Google and click on the ball and see what happens. Hours of fun, really. The Outer Worlds is back with a zany new sci-fi adventure for us to enjoy, and is coming straight to Game Pass too. This time around, the first-person RPG will be whisking us away to a whole new frontier. Although it does also seem to be run by a variety of power-hungry maniacs, so seems to be a lot of that going around. The new perks and flaws system lets you create a character who's just perfectly imperfect, from their bad knees to their sticky fingers, ensuring that every adventure through the Outer Worlds 2 is totally unique. And you can start yours on October 29th. And guess what? Yeah, Xbox Play Anywhere. Again. Another. Rounding out a month filled with returning classics, we've got a JRPG double dip, the Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. Both games have been remade with an Octopath Traveler-esque art style that combines 2D sprites with lush 3D backgrounds, as well as all sorts of gameplay improvements and additional content. And at the heart of it all is the epic single-player adventure and sweeping story that gamers fell in love with all those years ago. Turns out, both dragons and questing are still exactly as much fun as they were in 1986. Who would have guessed it? Finally, Ark Raiders will have players fending off a horde of sinister bots, and not just the type who post mean things on social media. This extraction shooter takes place in a world where humanity has been driven underground by a robot invasion. There's lots of valuable stuff up on the surface, so it's up to you to grab and get back to safety without incurring the wrath of your clank foes, or the other raiders. The PvPvE aspect means you're never quite sure who to trust, since players can work together to take down the trickier robots, but you both know that only one of you is going home with the loot. Ironically, Ark Raiders should make for a great test of your humanity, and it'll be out on October 30th. On September 4th, the Great Circle gets a little bit greater as Indiana Jones delves into a new set of Roman mysteries in the game's first DLC expansion, The Order of Giants. It'll give players a whole new open area map to explore, but look out for those fellas in the robes, because I don't think I like their vibe at all. It's giving Kali Ma. Naoe and Yasuke are also heading off on a new adventure as Assassin's Creed Shadows gets an expansion called Claws of Awaji on September 16th. It'll take players to a mysterious new island featuring 10 hours of additional content, including a new bow weapon for Naoe, so you can master the art of hitting people with a great big stick. Yay! Slime Rancher 2 becomes a full-grown slime on September 23rd with the game's full release. It features loads of colourful new slimes to farm and some handy new gadgets to help farm them, plus the opportunity to say slime a lot, so you know that's good fun too. Of course, you never know what surprises, shadow drops and sneak attacks the next couple of months might have in store for us, so make sure you subscribe and ring the bell to hear all about them. See you next time!